Hey hobbyists, how about another restoration project? These two chairs are gonna get turned into this. Stick around. Once again, on my way to work during bulk trash week, I saw these on the curb, thrown out with a big pile of rotted wood. I thought, well, let's see. Just picked them up, looked at them. By golly, they got some bones. I absolutely love doing restoration work. You don't really know what you're getting into most of the time. You can just have a vision. And that's what I came across with these chairs. Surprisingly, however, they're in better shape than I expected sitting out in the rain. Brought them into the shop, let them dry for a couple days while I was working on other projects, and just started pulling them apart. Often pulling apart thing reveals stuff that scares the heck out of you, like little cracks, rusty screws, that sort of a thing. But fact of the matter is, everything here was in really good shape except for the seats. They had these vinyl covers, then they were recovered. I pulled up a picture of another one that was almost exactly the same thing, and it was selling for $125 without restoration. And it had these same orange seats on it, so I'm guessing it was a manufacturer chair. These chairs are, kind of your typical church chairs or old school chairs. Back in the day when actual craftsmen built these, probably in America, I don't know that for sure, but pretty sure, before injection mold and all these other things came in. So there's definitely some quality craftsmanship here. Taking it apart, yeah, it had some problems, but you'd see some mortise and tenon in there. Nothing was really glued other than a couple little bits here and there. Everything was held together with screws. And even with the screws being somewhat rusty, not terrible, this thing pretty solid with just a tightening of the screwdriver. So same thing with the other chair. I'll pull it apart and see how it goes.
Deliver me the fate I must deserve. Oh, don't you? I just wait and listen for the storm. You can hear the difference in the wind. When the dark clouds form and start to turn, I'll run again. Far away when the hurricane comes in. When the dark clouds form and start to turn, I'll run again. Far away when the hurricane, oh, that old hurricane comes.
So you might be thinking to yourself, why is he using an orbital sander on such delicate pieces? And it's a valid point. I've got an 80 grit on there. I am literally just touching the finish and it's coming right off. So hopefully not too brutal on the pieces. I'm going to go back with 150 grit sandpaper and hand sand every piece. And when I tell you that was a beating, it was a beating. Worth it. But it was a beating. Got everything nice and smooth, ready for finish and paint. Back to the old Danish oil trick. I just can't seem to not want to use this stuff. I just love how it leaves my grain, or I can feel it with my hands. It seeps in, gets super hard. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 coats of this. I probably don't film all of it, but definitely 2 coats on everything. Now, the 4 legs, those are gonna get painted black. And when you see me pull those up, first one's gonna be a flat black primer, Rust-Oleum. And then the second one is a satin gloss Rust-Oleum paint out of a paint can. And the results, well, you tell me when you see them. To the old maple 3/4 inch plywood. This is how we're going to build our seats. About 15 and a half inch squares, and we'll cut those down. I cannot recommend the Craig track saw enough. They call it entry level, but let's be honest, it's perfect. It's exactly what we need. And I wasn't about to go drop $1,500 on a Festool. The Craig chipped in, did its job, and I'm super happy with it. The cuts are perfect. So get one. I highly recommend it. Links down below. And here I'm doing a little jigsaw just to get me those finer cuts. And you'll notice I'm giving it about a 1/16 of an inch breadth, if you will, off that cut line. And then we'll bring it over to the sander and take down those edges. Then I'm going to put a 1/4 inch round over with the router on there just to give it a little more refined finish look and take off those jagged edges. Now, when it comes to restoring old hardware like screws and flanges and washers and whatnot, I know there's a million chemical ways to do that. I really prefer, if possible, to get on this wire brush and just sand all that oxidation off. My video's not great here. I was kind of on my iPhone, didn't have a good way to prop it up, but you get an idea of it. If you can pick one of these up, I highly recommend it. Make sure you're being safe. Definitely want eyewear, gloves, all that sort of a thing. But it does a really good job of getting everything off of there. You have to be thorough and you have to be in the right mood for it, but I highly recommend it. Now, the question is, should I have coated or repainted these? I did not. And to be honest, they already started to oxidize by the time I started putting them back in. That said, I feel like that's how they were made originally and they'll stand up.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I've been mistreated, betrayed since I was born. I won't be your doormat anymore. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. You think you are so clever, you thought that you could hide. But I don't know what will hurt me, but it all comes out with time. Don't bother with excuses, you know where to find the door. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I've been mistreated, betrayed since I was born. I won't be your doormat anymore. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I know that I'm so pretty, sweet as I can be, but that don't mean I'm stupid, 'cause I can sure be mean. I ain't afraid to leave you crying on the floor. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I've been mistreated, betrayed since I was born. I won't be your doormat anymore. Hell hath no fury.
I got a little nervous reassembling this, just mostly for fear of using the wrong screw in the wrong place or marring up my paint job or all that sort of thing. So I was moving slow, little apprehensive, but ultimately they did fit together pretty much like a puzzle. Once you figure out the basics and understand which way things are supposed to face, it really does make sense. You have to watch screw holes, knot holes, all those sort of things. But it did fall back together pretty quickly, and so I'll do kind of a wide shot here, and then I'll do a much quicker detail view of the assembly process on the second chair.
I've been mistreated, betrayed since I was born. I won't be your doormat anymore. Hell hath no fury like a
One thing I kind of marvel at is the design of this chair is really quite brilliant. As you start to screw things in and add those blocks and start putting tension in through the screws, this thing really pulls together tightly. I'm not using any glue, and they did not use a lot of glue to begin with. I thought about maybe I'd just do the dry fit and then add epoxy, but after I got the thing up and together, man, I'm telling you, that thing was solid. I don't think we need it. When things are designed well, as this was, good gosh, maybe more than 50 years ago, I got to tell you, that's good engineering, good design, and it stands up. Super happy with it.
These hands of mine have got some stories to tell. Seen parts of heaven and a whole lot of hell. Headed west to stake a claim in the ground. These hands of mine have got some stories to tell. Seen parts of heaven and a whole lot of hell. Headed west to stake a claim in the ground. These hands of mine have got some stories to tell. Seen parts of heaven and a whole lot of hell. Headed west to stake a claim in the ground. I got as far as Cripple Creek that night. I met a girl with golden hair and green eyes. Fell in love on the outskirts of town. Hung my hat, figured I'd stick around. Hey, the part of me that longs to hold her at night would bury any man that don't treat her right. I'm gonna love and live and kill and fight with my whole heart till death do us part. There was a man who ran that whole damn town.
I put the legs on the wrong side. This one goes there, this one goes there. Oops.
I loaded up and rode out into the night. Took out his men and by the dawn's early light left a blood trail up to his porch. Held my breath and I kicked down the door. The same part of me that holds her at night would bury any man that don't treat her right. I'm gonna love and live and kill and fight with my whole heart till death do us part. Down on his knees, he was begging for his life. She looked up at me without a tear in her eye. So I put that gun in her hand. Sometimes it takes a woman to end a man. The same part of me that holds her at night would bury any man that don't treat her right. I'm gonna love and live and kill and fight with my whole heart till death do us part.
Normally when I wrap things up, kind of polish things off and pitch the rag at the lens. But you're probably asking yourself, what about the seats? Oh yeah, got the seats right here. You got a little Danish oil finish on them. It is a maple plywood. Very true to the mid-century standard. Not the manufacturers because they put vinyl on theirs. I'm not doing that. But as you can tell, and this is all intentional, these don't quite match. Like I said, that's intentional. Come back for part 2 when I put on leather upholstered seats. See that?
My whole heart till death do us part.